And let's cue up the cuteness. We want you on the Weather Network. Send us a video talking about your weather and you could get featured in our weather selfie. This airs every weekend here on the Weather Network starting at 9:13 p.m. I'll look forward to your submissions. We are going to get into your national weather story, coast to coast. We got you covered. Rachel Schoutsen here with you. And let's start with those temperatures because you're talking about it. That cold chill throughout Ontario into Quebec. Still seeing relatively nice conditions throughout BC into Alberta. But really, as we play this out in through Thursday, you can still see that cooler air throughout Ontario. Wednesday, you do get a nice bump up in temperatures. But to start off the week, this is what it looks like. Boy, is it going to be cold. Minus 27 in Ottawa as you send the kids back to school. A lot of kids back now from March break. So this is what you're up against. It is cold. And you're also going to be pairing that with some snow. I know kids in Calgary, you start March break on Monday. So hey, good for you. But this is what the snow is going to look like here. Calgary, you'll start to see that snow throughout the morning hours. And then this will rise up to Edmonton in towards the afternoon. We are seeing a system coming out of the south and basically bringing you some snow. But we're seeing rain out on the coast of BC. You can see some higher amounts here for places like Abbotsford, especially for Tofino as well, 15 to 30 millimeters. And then out in the Atlantic, boy, was it a wild weekend. Nathan Coleman has a recap right here. Thanks, Nate. And you know what? Into Monday, that system is going to depart. We're still going to deal with some sea-effect snow along the western edge of Newfoundland. And then also we'll see that rain on the BC coast, snow in through Alberta. That snow in Alberta is going to move through Saskatchewan. And you're going to be seeing the snow in through Tuesday. Alrighty, coming up next here on the Weather Network, it's the weather selfie. That's you on TV. Stay with us to find out who made the cut. That's all coming up next. Let's jump into this, the weather selfie here on the Weather Network. Every weekend, we ask you to send in a video or a photo in the elements of weather, and we'll feature you right here on TV. So, of course, Atlantic Canada, we're thinking about you. Another winter storm on the first weekend of spring. So this photo from Katrina McLean, Middleton, Nova Scotia, this is called Snow Time for Homework. Yeah, of course, lots of kids on March break this week, and they were not dealing with the very spring-like conditions at all. So bring out the bathing suit, bring out the flip-flops, and hey, get the March break in. I love these photos. Thanks so much, guys, from Middleton, Nova Scotia. So this is what the next 7 days looks like. This system is clearing out, but Monday morning, you're going to see some of the light flurries. Tuesday and through Wednesday, very nice, but cold, below seasonal. And then Thursday, hey, look at this. A new system comes in, but it's going to be warm enough to rain. Silver lining there, right? I want to show you one more photo. This is also from Nova Scotia. Nancy McIntyre sends in this one. And the kids, you know what? They are accepting reality out there. This is their snowmen dressed like the Easter Bunny, but -6 on Monday with that wind chill, -13. And then also midweek, your temperatures are going to bump and that system is coming in as some rain. I want to show you one more weather selfie here. This is my weather selfie in Terrace, British Columbia. That's where I was to welcome in the first day of spring. Came home yesterday. It was beautiful out in Terrace. Let me show you some scenes. This is Terrace, British Columbia. It is a part of the North Coast rainforest, and it has the potential to get very hot here in the summertime, but it's also known as the spot where that coastal rain turns into snow in the wintertime. Another thing I want to tell you about Terrace is look at that very low cloud. I'm turn back around and head to Vancouver. And it was such a great time there in Terrace. I met a fellow named Brian Gascon, and he told me, yeah, it rains a lot here in Terrace, but we don't call it rain. We call it liquid sunshine. Pretty good way to put it, right? This is Terrace over the next 7 days, warm temperatures, and yeah, you can see a lot of rain. Now, before we go, I want to talk about this. Today is World Water Day. We use 152 liters of water per person per day. What do you think about that? We are in a water shortage, and listen to this. I'm going to say this is a weather win here. And you know what? Coming up throughout the show, I'm going to show you our top 5 weather wins, so you want to stay around for that. I'm Rachel Schoutsen here with you, and let's talk about what's going on across the prairies. We are seeing a pretty calm evening, but a low from the south approaching Alberta. So watch how this moisture starts to move in here. Calgary, you'll get into the snow first, and then Edmonton, you'll see the snow more Monday afternoon. I also want to point out this warm front here. This is warm air aloft, so that means throughout Monday evening in through Tuesday, we could be seeing some freezing rain along southern Saskatchewan stretching in through Manitoba. So of course, we'll keep our eyes peeled on this one. But first, let's talking about the snow. So Calgary, Monday morning, Edmonton, you're seeing that Monday afternoon. This is going to continue to move across the prairies overnight Monday and into Tuesday. That's when Saskatchewan gets into some snow. We're really talking about some minimal amounts here on the high end, maybe 5 centimeters. But where we are talking about some rain, that's along the BC coast, Vancouver Island as well. Tofino, you could get well up to 30 millimeters of rain, but looks like less than 15 millimeters more widespread. So what are Canada's weather winds? Have a look at this top 5. Canadians are tough. Edmonton, there you go. You have a weather wind. Maybe not the best weather wind, but hey, it's there. Okay, let's get back into temperatures. We're not talking about the coldest temperatures in the world, no, but it certainly is going to maybe feel like it if you live in Ontario. Yeah, Monday morning, stretching out through Ottawa into Quebec, a freezing cold morning. Temperatures will slightly warm throughout the day, but we're really not talking about too much. And then Tuesday, warm out on the west, but still chilly to the east. Basically, every province across our entire country got a little bit of snow during the first weekend of spring. Was it feeling very spring-like where you were? A lot of you tweeted me and said, you know, you had the toque on, the scarf on, you had to shovel. So unfortunately, the first full week, well, it's not looking too great. This high pressure here, it's cold. It is freezing cold, minus 27 of a wind chill in Ottawa on Monday morning. We are seeing some warmer conditions out through the west. Not incredibly warm, however. Vancouver only 7 degrees on Monday morning, so a little bit chillier. And then also snow and rain moving through. That snow for Alberta, rain on the BC coast. This is what Vancouver looks like Monday morning. You'll have to pack that umbrella, kids, heading back to school. And Calgary, you'll be seeing the snow as we do see a system moving in from the south. This is going to be snow for Calgary through the morning and then snow for Edmonton in the afternoon. Regina, you're staying clear, but this snow is going to move in Monday evening and in through Tuesday. We're also watching for the potential of seeing a warm front move through, and that could bring in some freezing rain. This is what Winnipeg looks like Monday morning. This is just going to be the last little bit of snow for you as this system will then move throughout Ontario. Toronto, minus 12? Minus 12 at the end of March. It is going to be a cold one. Ottawa gets worse. Minus 18. When you're dressing the kids to head off to school tomorrow, you really have to think about these elements because we are talking about frigid cold temperatures here. Montreal down to minus 16 as well. Halifax minus 10. Now Halifax, you are seeing a really good bump up in temperatures on Thursday as a new system rolls through. Same thing goes for Southern Ontario. Toronto, you'll feel that on Wednesday as well as snow comes into play. St. John's, you're dealing with the last little bits of that system on Monday morning, and then that will clear out. And coming up, we'll be talking about, well, your temperatures right across the country, and also a look at social media. World Water Day. It's all coming up. We're back. Let's talk about water. The hashtag World Water Day. A lot of you have been using it on Twitter. Chat with me about it on Twitter because I really love the topic of water. So let's talk about it. Have a look at this. This is a really cool infographic. Water use around the world. Okay, the average person in the U.S., 156 gallons a day. How people around the globe use water so differently. So, of course, conserve water. It really is such an important thing to do, and talk to us about it on Twitter. How do you feel about this? California, they only have enough water left to supply them for 1 year, according to NASA. That's it. The debate between Celsius and Fahrenheit. What is the right choice? Pretty cool facts online at theweathernetwork.com. You gotta read this story. Celsius applies more to water. So why are we using that to measure our air temperature? You gotta read that story here on the Weather Network. And of course, kids, back to school on Monday. Many of you were off for March break. This is what it looks like right across the country, but I want to get you back into the school mode here, okay? This is a little quiz out in BC. Have a look at this. Here we are in beautiful British Columbia. It's a great province, isn't it? But how much do the residents know about BC? Here's a little trivia to find out. What is the capital of BC?
Vancouver.
Victoria.
Victoria.
You got it. What is the longest river in BC?
I'm not sure.
No, I'll say Skeena.
Skeena is second. Glacier National Park is in BC or is it in Alberta?
That one's in Alberta.
Yeah. BC. Close, guys. Penticton, Kelowna, and Vernon are 3 cities on a large lake in the interior of BC. Name that lake.
Okanagan Lake.
Perfect answer. Now, BC is home to one of the rainiest cities in the country. What is that city?
Prince Rupert.
Beautiful Prince Rupert.
Prince Rupert.
You got it. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Literally perfect rainbows. Isn't that incredible? A rainbow. That is my favorite element of the weather. This right here, this is not my favorite element of the weather. Below seasonal temperatures into Sunday. Look at this. -2 at Pearson, -6 in Mount Forest, Waterloo, -5. It was cold. This is how we welcomed in spring. I brought the parka back out. I put it away thinking that it could stay there. Definitely not. And into Monday, Tuesday, you're going to need the parkas again because look at this cold air. It is right throughout Ontario, especially into the GTA. You can see Monday, we're only slightly warming up. Tuesday gets a little bit better. And then Wednesday, warm, but with active weather. We'll talk about that throughout the show. But this is a little sneak peek of the overnight. Oh my goodness, -19 for the City of Toronto. Extreme cold alerts were issued by the city. -24 up in Barrie. This looks like a January board, doesn't it? Very cold. That's what we're talking about. When we look at Monday afternoon, things are not really warming up too much. -3 for the City of Toronto. Not what you want in the forecast. So when we look at temperatures like this, I know kids in the City of Toronto, throughout the GTA, Mississauga, Burlington, you're all going back to school tomorrow. So when your mom says put on the gloves and put on the hat, you're going to need to do that. So this is what it looks like as well into Tuesday. You can see here, temperatures starting to warm up 1 degree for the City of Toronto. That's looking pretty good, right? But I want you to notice this. High pressure's in place. That's cool. And then we do see some moisture coming into play for Wednesday. Wednesday, all of this rain comes through. Rain and warm temperatures. The potential to see double digits is there. Have a look at this. Barrie, not so much in the double digit range, but Guelph, as well as Brampton, Richmond Hill, just teetering there at 9. All right, stay with us throughout the show because coming up, look at this tide. It happens once in 18 years. More in force. That's next.